alongside our many different friends here today for this very important event. Since 1853, the Turners have stood for liberty, tolerance, reason, and justice, and a democracy that celebrates and honors all people, centering their dignity. So welcome to Turner Hall. It is my pleasure to introduce Jaime Alvarado, the LULAC Wisconsin State Director and co-chair of Rid Races in Milwaukee, who will be the MC and host for this morning's press conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome everyone for coming to this press conference. The League of United Latin American Citizens, along with elected officials and community leaders, will make remarks and take questions on the hurtful and derogatory comments made at Sunday's Trump rally at Madison Square Garden in New York City. During the rally, podcast host and comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, one of the speakers, referred to Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage. He also disparaged Latinos, who he mocked love having babies. LULAC is made of members from diverse countries across the globe, which include Colombia, Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Costa Rica. And after the shocking and tasteless remarks at the Trump rally, today we are all Puerto Ricans. The host and comedian was handpicked and vetted by the Trump campaign. Remarks for the campaign rally are usually shared with the campaign beforehand and reflect the candidate and their beliefs. The campaign has tried to dismiss the teleprompter read remarks by saying the joke does not reflect the views of the president or the campaign. We did not hear them denounce the joke and other hateful speech spewed throughout the rally by Mr. Hinchcliffe and their guests. President Trump's past rhetoric against immigrants and Latinos has been disgusting and disturbing. He claims that Mexicans are rapists and criminals. He said Latinos are vermin, invaders, and people who poison the blood of this country. Trump threw paper towels at Puerto Ricans, indeed, after Hurricane Maria. The rhetoric at the rally has added to the hatred. Speaker referred to Vice President Kamala Harris, who's daughter of immigrants, as the devil and antichrist. Another said that her pimp handlers will destroy our country. Another joke by Mr. Hinchcliffe claimed Latinos are making babies. They're not pulling out. They come inside just like they did to our country. We demand Trump denounce the hateful speech spewed Sunday, not like what his campaign tried to do, the weak, not reflect statement. J.D. Vance, his VP candidate on Monday in Waukesha, when asked about the comment, said he claims he did not hear the comment, and he says that let's have a sense of humor, let's have a little fun. That is unacceptable for our community and our swing state. Latinos will vote about 36 million strong in the United States. Latinos will vote 115,000 strong in Wisconsin alone. Trump has lost the election by 20,000 votes in 2020 in Wisconsin, and Latinos will again be the decider in 2024. So we have a number of guests here that I'm excited about, and the first that we're going to bring up is Tammy Rivera. She's the Executive Director of Southsider Organizing Committee. She's a Boricua. So please welcome Tammy.
Buenos días, mi gente, allies, and coalition members. Gracias to LULAC Wisconsin for taking a leadership role in this very critical response. Thank you to Milwaukee Turners for their legacy of liberation movement. Safe space, thank you to the coalition that came out today and joined not only Puerto Ricanos and Latinos, but all of us, because this is a much deeper and greater issue although it was targeted at my community. What I want to say is I'm a proud Milwaukeean. My grandparents came here during the very feverish recruitment of labor needed for this community to have a booming manufacturing industry. Both sets of my grandparents came from Puerto Rico when my parents were 7. And so me and my brothers, we were born and raised under the shadow of what used to be the Allen Bradley Clock, now the Rockwell Towers. My grandfather, Esteban Rosario Don Bing, retired from Harnischberger and died of respiratory disease. That's what happens when you chuck coal. And my grandmother worked in a toy factory here in Milwaukee. My paternal, those were my paternal grandparents. My paternal grandparents also worked in the factories here in Milwaukee, and as a matter of fact, my paternal grandmother lost much of her arm in a tannery factory here, all the external of her arm. And in those days, you couldn't sue companies thanks to unions. We had worker rights and protections, but back then she got nothing for that. The real offense about the joke is that it reflects the reality of the relationship between the U.S. and Puerto Rico, historically and currently. That's the real offense. The real offense about the comedian is that this is what a presidential candidate selected to represent his presidency not so far off of an election. The real offense about the political candidate is that we all, Puerto Ricans, Latinos, Milwaukeeans, Wisconsinites, and all of us deserve the best the U.S. can produce in leadership and the best we can produce in public service, not what we have before us. In every other area, we accept no less in leadership. I was listening to my younger son look at some historical sports documentaries. We don't accept less than leadership, but the best leadership in sports or entertainment or in business. But for the most precious and sacred, humanity, for the quality of life of humans, what matters the utmost we accept. And so here's what I have to say, mi gente, allies, and all of us. Your vote is your voice. So take the energy of how offended you feel and put it into voting and getting other people to vote. We should vote because it's our voice, and sometimes we vote because it's our vengeance. And so today we have our team with us, and we would love for you all to sign a pledge to vote. We have a couple of days left, and that's when we should put our energy. Gracias.
Hey, Tammy. Next speaker is going to be Christina Newman. She's the Executive Director of Voces de la Frontera.
Thank you so much. We are gathered here today to condemn Trump and his followers, his rhetoric, his agenda. It is part of a nativist movement, a very dangerous nativist movement. And this rally in New York, this nativist rally in New York, was a sharp reminder of anyone who's not awake yet of how this man sees our community, what is his record, and what he promises for us. And it's a wake-up call for anyone who wasn't awake yet to make sure that we deliver Wisconsin on November 5th. And we did that in 2020. Our numbers have only grown since then. Latinos are the largest group. They are the largest growing voting bloc. And I remember 20 years ago when I first came, the Puerto Rican community was actually smaller. It was like around 18,000. And now, according to Centro at Hunter College, the Puerto Rican community in Wisconsin is 69,917 Puerto Ricans live in Wisconsin. Woo! And that is part of a large and powerful and proud Latino community and voting bloc that is turning out to defend their dignity, to defend the dignity of their parents and their family, their roots. I think this was basically, in some ways, this is a horrible statement, but it also is a good wake-up call to make sure, because we have time now. We still have time to vote early, and we still have time to certainly turn out to vote and get everyone there. Trump is not just a xenophobe and a white nationalist, but he is also anti-worker. Someone who pretends to care about white working class people from Northern Europe, right? Not immigrants, only as long as they're from Northern Europe. But the fact is, his comments and his record speak otherwise. After the comments on Puerto Rico, I know many people have shared their feelings about remembering how he treated Puerto Ricans after the hurricane. Yes. When he blocked aid, he blamed the problem on Puerto Ricans themselves, and then threw paper towels at the crowd who needed help. And in the absence of that help, many people died. So it's not just the rhetoric, it's his record as well. And his record on terms of working people, the biggest accomplishment that he made was the huge tax break that only favored the rich and the corporations. The richest 20% received 77% of tax cuts under his previous administration. And low income and moderate income individuals, working class people, saw the least benefits from his tax cuts, with the bottom 50% only getting 4.3% of the tax cuts. This is who he is. He is not on the side of working class people. He promotes division, hatred, and violence. It is part of a fascist movement in this country. And we have the numbers. We defeated him in 2020. We can only increase that margin. There's only a bigger margin in 2024 on November 5th that we will turn out. We will make sure that we protect the vote and that we send them back. Sí se puede.
Thank you, Christina. Next speaker is Lisa Jones. She's a co-chair of Red Races in Milwaukee and lay minister of United Methodist Church.
Thank you, Jaime. I am glad to be here and to be standing with my brother-in-arms, Jaime, who I co-chair with Red Race in Milwaukee with. And I'm also, too, a lay minister at Brown Deer United Methodist Church. And it disturbs me that if we're going to get to the beloved community, how can we keep having this hate language in our public sphere, particularly by our political leaders who are supposed to be leading us? We deserve better. We deserve better. And as someone, as a person of faith and who has done faith-based organizing, this cannot stand. We need so much more from our leaders. We have many problems that we need to deal with, but yet we're still here with all of this, and we're still talking about hatred. We're not talking about real solutions for immigration reform, real solutions for people who have been through natural disasters. And so yet our tone still remains on hatred, xenophobia, and saying that people are garbage or countries are garbage. Or, and years ago, there was a word, the S word was used about certain countries, that people that look like me. So now what we must do is we must come together. And I call on President Trump and his associates to apologize for this constant rhetoric, not only to our Puerto Rican siblings, but for the constant tone that he has consistently used over and over and over again to divide communities. I can tell you, we will not be divided. We will not be divided. The people of other groups are coming together to stand together. That's why I'm here. That is why I'm here, to be in solidarity with my siblings. I've personally worked with some of my cohorts behind me doing different kind of organizing in Milwaukee. And if you can see my shirt, and if you did not see this, it says God speaks all languages. That's all languages, every single one, and that means every single human being on this earth, regardless of what they look like, their gender identity, everybody is a person of worth. And we need to have our leaders lift that up and represent that and not consistently divide us. That's why it's important for people to come and be together. That's why I represent the faith community, because on the back of the shirt it says love. And if we are truly going to love, and if we are truly going to be the beloved community that Dr. King talked about, if we're gonna really get to that dream, we're gonna have to do some real hard work, and we're gonna have to hold some accountability for people who are running for office and for our leaders and our policy makers. We will not be divided. We will not be divided. Stay strong, and we will not let this hate continue. God bless.
Thank you, Lisa. Next speaker is Luz Hernandez. She's the MTEA Milwaukee Teachers. She represents MTEA Milwaukee Teachers Union.
Hello everyone, thank you to LULAC for holding this event, and thank you to all of you here today. I am Luz Hernandez. I am the Vice President for the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association, and I am also, of course, a teacher here in the city of Milwaukee, 30-year bilingual teacher for Milwaukee Public Schools. Now, Donald Trump's comments about immigrants and Latinos and his campaign surrogate calling Puerto Ricans garbage are beyond disgusting. Trump's campaign knew that he reportedly vetted his surrogate's comments calling Puerto Ricans garbage. A decent leader would swiftly repudiate those comments and apologize. But instead, the Trump campaign has doubled down, with J.D. Vance saying we should have a sense of humor, have a little fun, by disparaging entire groups of Americans for their heritage. Now, let's not forget that when Puerto Ricans were devastated by the destruction of Hurricane Maria, a storm more deadly than Katrina, Trump delayed $20 billion, with a B, billion dollars in aid, causing unnecessary suffering of American citizens. When he finally found the courage to visit, Trump insulted Puerto Ricans by calling the island nation dirty, and threw paper towels at residents at a press conference attended by hurricane victims seeking leadership and relief. Latinos and immigrants deserve respect. And the racist, bigoted Trump campaign made it very clear what they think of us. That is unacceptable for anyone, especially an individual trying to become president of the United States. Milwaukee family, I'm asking each of you here today, and anyone who hears my voice, to call and text every one of your friends, family members, and neighbors to make certain that they vote. All of them, not calling the Trump candidate. We must bring our friends, family members, and neighbors to the polls through early voting until this Sunday, and then again, of course, on Tuesday, to elect Kamala Harris and defeat Donald Trump once and for all. Así que, familia de Milwaukee, nuestro voto siempre es nuestra voz, una voz contra el racismo de Donald Trump y para un futuro mejor con Kamala Harris.
Gracias, Luz. Our next speaker is Jose Lubano. He represents the Milwaukee Labor Council Bricklayer Local B.
Hi everybody, my name is Jose Wabano. I am a proud member of the Bricklayers Local 8 Union here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Also a proud member of the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement. And I'm also the proud son of 2 immigrant parents who came to this country and have been able to do everything to provide for me and my siblings. The comments made by Donald Trump and his colleagues on Sunday are everything that we as a community are against. We have done nothing but work hard and provide for our families, and to have somebody go on stage and spit in our faces is something that we can no longer accept. We are demanding the respect. All of my colleagues up here have been able to share beautiful words, but the only emotion that I feel I can share with you all is a little bit of rage based on the comments that are very often thrown around by this administration, their followers, their supporters. It's about time that we show up and that we use our voices. All of us, I cannot plead with everybody just to get out and vote. It's about time that we shut it all down because all of us deserve the respect that we all share with one another. I've lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin my entire life, and Milwaukee's taught me nothing more than to love and respect everybody, whether they look like me or not. And I think that right now we need to put that out into the country. Everybody needs to see the kind of love that we have for one another. And it's really time to finish all of this because Donald Trump is bringing nothing but hate into this country. And as a union member, I would like my pension, my retirement, my benefits to be protected. I'd like for my family to live at peace, knowing that they as immigrants are safe. And right now, we're facing, they're distressed because they don't know what the future is going to look like. So I'm here to ask everybody, young, old, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, if you believe in love and respect, then you will be voting for Kamala Harris because that is what this country needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Our next speaker is Maria Morales. She's the LULAC Wisconsin Deputy State Director for the Elderly.
Good morning, buenos días. Gracias a todos. Thank you for everybody for making this possible. I am just a grandmother, great-grandmother who has been here in Wisconsin since 1949. We came in 49 as migrant workers.
Sorry about this.
Sorry. I don't know if you can see me, but you can hear me. Even though my father is from Mexico, I do not consider myself an immigrant, and I do not consider him an immigrant, because this was our country. This has always been a country. La gente de México, la gente de Sudamérica, la gente de Centroamérica y de todas las islas, somos gente de esta tierra. This is our land. They cannot say we're coming into this land. It's a saying that we're coming into this country. We are not coming into this country. We are here. We have always been here, and we are staying. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. What Trump is saying, that he is going to apologize, that he did not know what this person was going to say. He does not he's never going to apologize, because what is being said is what's in his heart. This is what it feels, an evil heart. We know all these things he said about Mexicanos, rapists, that we're not human, that we're animals, Puerto Ricans are trash. He said it now, he said it before during Maria, when he threw paper towels. Clean up your act. Well, I say to Mr. Trump, clean up your act. At the Puerto Ricans, at the island, I'm throwing this so he can clean up his act.
Gracias, Maria. our next speaker is the Wisconsin Deputy State Director. He's our last speaker, and we're going to take questions and answers after this. Thanks. Deanna?
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's what I grew up with in Wisconsin. I was born and raised in Racine. So the words, they hurt so bad, but I learned to use that hurt and that pain to make a change, to make a difference. And we have this opportunity to voice our opinions, and I want the Latino community, and not just the Latino community, but all my brothers and sisters, especially women, to vote. Here in Milwaukee, you have up till Sunday. In Racine, we have up till Friday. Then we rest on Monday and get everybody a plan of action to come out at 7 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday, and pack those polls. We can't rest until we win. We can't win unless we vote. So women, win the vote. I'm going to ask everybody to look at your ballot. Make sure that you vote each section in that ballot. Make sure you fill in that bubble. Make no mistakes. Leave no blanks. In the section that you want to vote for, fill in that bubble. Turn your ballot around, and where there's a question, especially on the Constitution, you say no. Thank you.
Deanna, is there any questions that somebody has? Sure.
Yeah, if Harris were elected, what would you want her to focus on to further the vaccination?
The major thing that we've been fighting for is comprehensive immigration reform. To protect our DACA recipients is a big one too. So those are the two big asks that I have. Christina, do you have?
I agree. I guess maybe one more, and that is that the Democratic Party has adopted this far-right Stephen Miller Trump language on the border, and so we do need to have an administration that actually knows what the challenges are around safety, which includes, protecting immigrants who are coming in, creating legal pathways, and making sure that we have the resources to integrate well into our community. They're needed, they're welcome. And so I think changing the rhetoric on the border is very, very important, and recognizing also the humanity of asylum seekers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, my name is Nelson Goodson from Hispanic News Network. I've seen in your press release that you're urging Trump to apologize. So just in case he does apologize, will LULAC Wisconsin then consider supporting him?
So LULAC is a nonpartisan organization. We do have a PAC that's separate and they endorse, but no, we're looking for an apology. Those are disparaging and disgusting remarks that he's made towards not just Puerto Ricans, but Latinos in general, and we deserve an apology.
Unconditional apology.
Any other questions? Well, again, I want to thank everyone for coming, supporting, and this press conference has been great. We heard from a lot of great speakers, and go vote, everyone. Thank you.